Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today it is Sunday and I've decided to do another weekly recap as I've done these past 2 weeks, and here are the conclusions I came to. So we'll start by going through just the days. So Monday I said no trade because it was a bank holiday. I knew there was one possible long, I think, like right here. We manipulate down, I think we had an SMT. We make the disrespect of this. So you could have taken that, but I don't think I would have, especially not on an express. So yeah, didn't count that one. So then coming into Tuesday, there was, I would say, 2 possible trades, but these are like ones where they're kind of tricky to find. There aren't like that perfect entry, really. The setup is really great. We have this higher time from SMT. We get this final manipulation after open. So we go down, we sweep, we come into this untapped 1 hour, or I think, was it? Yeah, 4 hour bullish or value gap. We sweep the sell side after going down a lot, so it's very clear to be bullish right here, at least in my opinion. So yeah, this long was quite clear that we were gonna go up, but the entry was just hard to find right here because it's so high up once we get the disrespect. So I want the disrespect of this bearish value gap, which didn't happen at this or this candle. We just respected it. So if I want to wait for disrespect, it would have been up here. But the nice thing right here is the assist and the disrespect happens at the same time. So here you can be very sure that we have made the final move down and that we're going to go up. The only problem is here is the stop loss is so big. 76 point stop is a lot. However, you could target a lot. Also here we have this untouched 1 hour bearish value gap and all this low resistance liquidity built up. So the RR isn't even that bad, even with this big of a stop, almost 1.9 RR. So that's what why I think you could have easily taken this trade anyway. However, you would have had to use like only 2 contracts. So there would have been a $572 win with risking $300. But yeah, although it's a great trade, but I write potentially right here because it's one of these where it isn't that it's easy to miss that one and to miss out, which I did in the live market. I got too scared once we got up here, and I thought we were too high up. I want to see a retrace down, and this move up before we close, we swept out this, which made a bearish SMT. So I was quite hesitant, but there was also one possible trade here on Tuesday with along another entry in the 30-second right here, because right here we make this move down, which made an SMT, because I want to retrace back right here to be able to take my entry here. But once we make this SMT with ES and we make this 30-second disrespect of this small fair value gap, it's quite clear that we're not going to retrace down. This is a breaker block, and we've made a final manipulation. When we get these internal SMTs, they are often very important and show that we made a final manipulation move down and we're not going to go lower and make our continuation up. So you could have gotten the entry right here, 1 to 2 RR, risk $360 to make $700 like I put here. So it could have been a $100 or a $700 day. So yeah, that was the trades for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, this trade I took. So we come into this 1 hour bullish value gap that was untouched. We rebalance all of this range. I'm still bullish in the higher time frames since we swept SSL, and I'm anticipating price to move up basically to all-time high at this time. So we shop a lot. We have news at 10 a.m. which I was waiting for. These stacked highs are very nice to target, which is what I did. And once at open, we come down, we make this final SMT. That's very clear final manipulation, especially with news just coming out. So here we get this big close up, which makes the assist in the 30-second and also this 1 minute inversion. But I don't enter right at the close because from market experience, I know once we get this big of a close, we usually have some kind of retracement back into this candle. And here I can enter once we retrace back to this assist line. So it would have been 1 to 2 RR risk. The risk right here would have been $350 to make $700. and I risked to the mistake I made in this trade live is I had my stop right here, so I couldn't take as many contracts, and the RR was worse. So I should have had it right here, like in this example, which would have made me more money, but otherwise I did exactly like this. So then coming into Thursday, there was two possible setups, really. We at open shoot up, grab all these highs, which I wasn't too big of a fan of, but I'm still bullish in the higher time frames, and we still have a lot of liquidity to the upside to take. So again, this day we had news at 10 p.m, which I waited for. What's nice here is we build this low resistance liquidity before news, and then at news we do come down, we sweep Asia low, make an SMT, we rebalance all of this range. So here I'm very bullish, just waiting for the confirmations. So we do disrespect this small 1 minute for rally gap, and we make the cyst right here, but still it isn't like the best setup, but we have double SMT, so really isn't anything wrong with taking this in my opinion, and it's just a loss. That's the way it is. If the setup would have shown itself like this again, I probably would have taken it. The only problem here is we had 2 minute bearish value gap and 3 minute, which we didn't disrespect. Here is the 3 minute with a breaker block, so we do react from that. So here maybe you should have gone break even right here for this to be a break even trade. So this other trade is a lot better in my opinion. Here we do not have a lower time frame SMT, but we still have that higher time frame SMT. We have very clear final manipulation, and we have momentum down, and all this clear for value gap to disrespect in the 1 minute, 2 minute, and we make a 30-second cyst right here. This is worse RR, but it's a very nice setup still. So this day could have either been a $360 loss or a $670 win, depending on how you traded that day. On my combine, I took this loss and then took this win, which made me up on the day. But on the Express, I think I would have just quit after this loss, because this would have been a full-size loss and I wouldn't have been able to take another trade after that. So coming into Friday then, there was this possible short that I could have taken. My account, I didn't have my account, as you know, but here this move makes an SMT, and once we close below this level, so we get a cyst here, and we also respect this bearish value gap. It's quite clear that we're going down to this data low, so we could have taken this entry 2.6 RR, and it would have been a $880 win. So the result for this week is at worst a $926 week, or at best almost a 3k week, and I ended up the week 1.1k up, which I am happy about. I didn't even have the ability to trade on Friday, and I'm not sure if I would have taken that trade. That's why I wrote potentially, because it's not a certain trade, but if I would have taken that trade, it would have been a 2k week. So I'm happy that my actual P&L is starting to get closer to this potential P&L for when I'm doing my recaps. Like last week or the week before that, I was like half the way there, and right now I actually beat this. I was better than this, so I'm happy about that. And also my system has now like 3 weeks in a row proven to be able to generate at least 1k of profits per week if you execute it correctly, so that I'm also happy about. So that was this week's recap. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.